Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to That's Football for our third watch-along of the day. It is my favourite watch-along of the day. Not because it's the third one, I do like the number 3, but because I think it's the one that has the most intrigue to it. I mean, fair play to the Dutch for beating Senegal. I thought it was an interesting game, quite an equal game, but the Dutch getting it done in the end, so fair play to them. But this game is the game that I just can't choose. This is the game where, well, it's England's next two opponents. Iran, I thought, were terrible today, but, you know, is USA about hype? We know a lot about the Welsh. We know that they're they don't have loads of talented players, but we know they're a very honest team, and we know that they work very, very hard, and we know that they're capable of pulling off results. But so we know a lot about the Welsh. Where do the United States? Where do they hit into that? I think it's going to be very interesting to see. So I'm looking forward to it. And I tell you what I want to say as well. Massive shout out to Charlie and Adam on the watch-along this afternoon. I know it's not me, but brilliant. Intriguing. Very, very good watch-along. Almost as good as me. I better be careful. They were brilliant. I really enjoyed. Obviously, I loved the studio. Looked great. But it was a really, really good watch-along to watch while you're having your tea and stuff. So they did a really good job, Ronnie. Really good job. I was very impressed. And you know, this is why we'll be able to cover all the watch-alongs. But I'm on for the next two. I've got this, and I've got Argentina tomorrow morning. They're not getting the Messi shift. I'm doing that tomorrow morning. So 10 o'clock Argentina, I'll be doing that. And where's the dress? You know what? You're a bunch of arseholes. I didn't even realise until I looked at it on the Twitch reaction. Yeah, I get what people are talking about. I'm going to be brave and stick with a 3-1 to us, says VI Jokers. Thank you very much for that. We'll go through the team news early. Just remember, we are sponsored by OneFootball. They sponsor our carousel, which keeps going round, our stats carousel. You can download it through the QR code in the top right-hand corner, or you can go through the link in the description. We're also sponsored by Wash and Go, which I'll talk to you about in a minute, which is what I wash my hair with. Scan the QR code to order yours, but I'll talk to you about Wash and Go in a minute. First of all, let's start off with the team news that's coming in. So this is the United States. Turner, Dest, Ream, Zimmerman, Robinson, McKennie, Adams, Muzza, Pulisic, Weah, Sargent. So you should know half of those players. Sargent, Norwich, Pulisic, Adams, McKennie, Dest. You should know a few of those players. The Welsh have gone with Hennessy, Mepham, Roden, Davies, Roberts, Williams, Ampadu, Ramsey, Wilson, Bale and James. So again, you will recognise a lot of those players as well. Interesting game. Very intrigued by this game. Not going to lie. Wales are clear, says Abd. We're going to run another poll here. We did one this afternoon on the second half of the England game, and it ended up 50-50. We call it Who's Got This? And you can vote for either of them. Who's got this? I mean, obviously it could be a draw, but we're not boring. We don't do that. We don't do draws. We do Who's Got This? I mean, it could be a draw, but who wants to vote for a draw? Who do you think is going to get Ivory's Coast? Seems to be the new TV licence joke. Our manager left two of our best defenders and two of our best attackers at home for a brunch of crap MLS players, says the HPN. Tell us who they were. Tell us who they were. You know, don't just leave us hanging. Tell us who got left at home. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. Who does Weah play for? Anyway, a lot of people talk to me about this Weah. Who does he play for? There you go. Who does he play for? I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see who people tell me that he plays for. Weah. I know the name and I can't remember who he plays for. Lille, that's it. Lille, thank you. Thank you very much. You're forgetting about Muzza. He's balling for Valencia, says Shanks. No, I was mainly talking about Premier League players and I added in Dest. I didn't mean to do that. I'm very interested to see about the United States. They're probably one of the most exciting teams in the World Cup based on hype. They've done a really good job at hyping themselves up. And they probably haven't hyped themselves up. It's not probably their fault, if I'm absolutely honest. I think they've been a team that's... a lot of people have said, oh, you can't go to sleep on the United States. I'm a little bit worried about that. I know it's very early days, but I was told not to sleep on Iran. I was told Iran are going to cause a few shocks. And maybe they will cause a few shocks against United States and Wales because those two teams are not as strong as England, but they were very disappointing. Very disappointing, weren't they? Really, really disappointing. But look, maybe we're going to get something different here. United States are interesting, and a lot of people. Rayner's on the bench. Yeah, a lot of people like him. USA should win on paper. I don't know how they will on the pitch, says the Riddler. So, 52% of you going for Wales at the moment. Interesting. Hi, Mark. What's your favourite ever England shirt? Probably Italian 90. It's on ITV in the UK. I'm just going to go through the USA squad and tell you a little bit more about them. Let's give them a little bit of hype, shall we? Because they certainly have had a lot of hype. So the USA squad basically looks a lot like this. Their goalkeeper is Arsenal, Turner. So Turner is actually an Arsenal goalkeeper. Dest obviously plays for AC Milan. Who else have they got playing? Ream, Zimmerman and Robertson. So Robinson you'll know from Fulham. Ream is also from Fulham. And Zimmerman is from Nashville. Down from Nashville. McKennie is Juventus. And I think they've got Tyler Adams and Muzza playing. So Tyler Adams, as we know, he plays for Leeds. And quite rightly, Yunus Muzza plays for Valencia. You've got Pulisic, who is obviously of Chelsea. And then you've got Weah of Lille and Sargent of Norwich. Notable others. So look at who you might know. Not really. I mean, Carter Vickers, Celtic. He's a defender. Scally, Mönchengladbach. Brendan Aronson, of course, Leeds. And then the rest of them are really, apart from Rayner, who's Dortmund, most of them are MLS players. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Do I have a score prediction? No, I don't normally not predict, you know. I don't normally not predict. Mark, get that volume on so you can bask in the glory of the Welsh national anthem, says Joshua Bellwater. Do I think Harry Maguire played well today, says Little Man? Well, if you went to Twitch after the match, you would have seen the player ratings, and I gave Maguire a 6.5. I'm going to talk about it on the United Stand at 9 o'clock because I want to review a few things about Gakpo and the Greenwood news, and there's a few bits to go through at 9 o'clock on the United Stand after this. But all in all, I thought Maguire played quite well, but I've probably got a higher bar than some people. I think because Maguire's been bad, he played a lot better today, but he cost us a goal. And people go, well, it doesn't matter. No, it didn't matter. But in a game where it's tighter, he will still cost you that goal. And that could be the difference between winning and losing. So, look, there's always a but with Harry Maguire. I think he played well, but there's always a but, isn't there? And I gave him a 6.5. I think he suits the game that is slower, and the international game is slower. If you give him time, he's very good on the ball. If you put good crosses into the box, he's very good in the air. But if you knock a ball in behind him, he's very slow. He's got limitations, and he's got, qualities as well. So I thought he played reasonably well today. Do you think Wales can make it out of the group, Joel? I think this game we're about to watch, Joel, is huge. It's one of the games of the tournament so far. Because if you lose this game, USA or Wales, I think you're probably going home. Because if you think about it, if Wales win, I'd expect them to beat Iran. That's 6 points. If USA lose, I don't expect them to beat England. So therefore, they can't get 6 points. So if you win this game, I think you're going to go through the group. So it probably will be a draw. But yeah, I think if you win this game, you're going to go through the group. Because I think England will beat Wales and United States. I certainly don't think we'll lose to either of them. So yeah, I think it's a huge, huge game. And I don't have the audio on, so I don't listen to the anthems. Although I do think they've both got very good anthems. So yeah, I don't know which way it's going to go. I'm going to predict a draw because I don't know which way it's going to go. But I hope we're going to get a good game. That's what I'm hoping for. The match is on ITV forever. Hope you're doing well. 52% of you have gone for Wales. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Remember, we're doing every watch along on this channel. Fantastic second day of the World Cup watch-alongs. We did England at lunchtime. We were in the studio for Senegal, Netherlands. That was a good one. Sorry, I've just got to send this message. And obviously we've got 4 games tomorrow. 4 games tomorrow. It's the bow of Messi, isn't it? Oh, it's Messi's turn to take a bow. Weather's terrible in the UK. I'm actually messaging what I've just said to you. I'm terrible at that. You know what? It's really interesting, isn't it, where this could go. I am still struggling in a very selfish way doing World Cup watch-alongs when it is when I can't be in a beer garden. But I've just paused it on Wash and Go there. Let me just read this out because we're just about to start the game. I just want to read this out about Wash and Go. They are sponsoring the show. Today's Watch Along is brought to you by Wash and Go. I'm sure by now you've seen my amazing ad that I created for Wash and Go. If you've not, then what have you been waiting for? My ad is top class. Basically, my idea was that when everyone is celebrating their team's success by throwing drinks and all sorts in the air, then you need Wash and Go to be there to protect your hair from becoming a sticky mess. So, of course, they loved the idea, except their global head of dreamscaping, Rupert, was not a fan and tried to sabotage me every step. If you want to watch Goldbridge's perfect little advert for the for our attempt at an advert for the World Cup fan parks, then do check it out. The link is in the video description. And I do use Wash and Go every day. So if you want to get yourself some Wash and Go, you can get it delivered to your door. And I can show you something that I prepared earlier, but I didn't have it ready. I love doing this because it never bloody works. But I'd like to say that I got them to do this. But in previous years, whenever I present or whenever I promote Wash and Go, we always have a bit of a problem. Like I've got a problem now getting my camera back. There we go. We always have a bit of a problem with Wash and Go because it's got a green bottle, so it's see-through. So I said, can you put a blue lid on it? Which they did. So we've now got a blue lid on it, which is great. So that is a bottle of Wash and Go. You'll have to take my word for it, but it has got a blue lid on it. Delivered to your door. I said it's just completely invisible, like because it's green, and I've got a green screen behind me, but there is a blue lid on there now. Wash and Go is 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner delivered to your door. Clean, strong, and healthy hair. I do use it every day. I didn't used to use it until we started working together, but they sent me so much of it. I just started using it in the shower, and it just. People say, "What's your hair routine?" I can't tell you the hair products I use because they don't sponsor me, but I definitely do use Wash and Go every day. 2-in-1 conditioner in the shower. Simple things in life, and I don't need to condition. I never used to condition, but I actually quite like it. So get your Wash and Go delivered to your door through the link in the description, or you can scan the QR code. And please do check out my advert with Wash and Go. If you've not watched it yet, you do need to watch it. Links in the video description as well. We're good to go, people. We are good to go. I'm ready to go. I hope you are good to go as well. This is an exciting game. I hope everyone else is excited. I'm genuinely excited about this one. Wales against USA. It's in England's group, so it really does hit home. We'll be playing the USA on Friday night, so it's a bit of a scouting mission in this World Cup. What are we thinking about the World Cup as well? I think, I heard Adam on about this on the Watchalong this afternoon. I think it's a very relevant thing. With every game, it's like, how do you feel about the World Cup? I think we've had 2 very one-sided games with England and Ecuador. I thought Senegal and the Dutch was a good game, although there was a lot of empty seats. And I think there's a lot of empty seats again, and I'm a little bit disappointed with that. And that's nothing against Qatar. I'm not talking about Qatar, although we are. I've seen it in previous tournaments as well, but you don't like to see the empty seats. You want to see full seats, don't you? And I'm a little bit confused as to why they've not been able to fill the grounds, considering surely just give it to the locals. Mark, who's your dark horse of the tournament? Scooby-Doo, says Jack. Uruguay. I'm going to close the voting here. We've had 7,500 votes. 53% of you went with the Wales win. So I think that the American team on paper looks good. I quite like. Obviously, I like Pulisic. I think Tyler Adams is a good player. McKennie's okay. And I think if they're going to have a good tournament, they need Muzza and Weah to play well. They're the two players that I think are the big unknowns in their attack. And, well, I say unknowns at international level, but they could cause some problems. I think it's going to be interesting. Dane says it doesn't help when the tickets are at £300, over £300. Meet me, Dan James, running at this defence worries me. Dest loves to get forward and our centre-backs lack pace. Also, why don't Wales use God Save the King? Says Jack, because they're Welsh. They've got their own national anthem. Respect it. Stev, thank you very much. Man FC says, Mark, you're amazing. Thanks, mate. Are you going to wear your dress again? Oh, I don't know. I have to see on Friday. US begin with a rugby kick. They've copied United, says Alex. Well, I've heard a few things about Americans not actually being happy with their coach. How many national teams are managed by coaches they don't like? Like England, I think in the main, English fans would replace Southgate if they could. USA potentially. I don't know about the Portuguese, but I would replace your coach. I think Portugal are probably one of the most misused squads in international football. I think they've got such a good squad and they play such negative football. Not a very good cross there. They started off well, USA, but we have only had 2 minutes. Mexico's coach as well, James. That's another one I've heard that's not very good. So, Mark, does the winner of this play Ivory Coast, says Pedro? I don't get the joke, but let's just keep it coming. Yeah, you and me, we can light up the sky if you stay with me, girl. I'll tell you what, I've got to admit, this is the game I've enjoyed the most because it's dark outside and it feels different for a World Cup to have matches where it's dark, and it's dark in Qatar. So I quite like these evening matches because it's dark where I live and it's dark there, and I think that's not normal. You don't normally get that in the World Cup. You don't normally get that in the World Cup because it's normally in the summer. So, all the games are normally played in the day, in the daylight hours. Thoughts on Darwin Núñez, says Ajit. Well, I'm a big fan of Darwin Núñez, and as you know, I've got I've gone with Uruguay to be a dark horse of the tournament. So, I know he plays for Liverpool, but I do like Darwin Núñez. There's the live group. As you can see, this is England's group, so we're top of this group. That's as it stands, so it's 1-1 each. My dad used to play for Wales. He was violin at SeaWorld, says Hugh. Hilarious. It doesn't even make sense. Oh, play for Wales. Now it does, yeah. It's been a long day. Mexico's coach Barcelona, but still bad, says Victor. Darwin Núñez for Golden Boots. I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to watching Uruguay. Wales have started off on the defence here. I've been more impressed with USA so far. So tomorrow we see Argentina at 10 a.m. playing Saudi Arabia. Could be some goals in that. Mexico play Poland at 4 o'clock in Group C. And then at 1 o'clock in Group D, you've got Denmark, Tunisia and France, Australia. There's a cracking game coming up on Saturday, which is France-Denmark at 4 o'clock. Can't wait for that. Cannot wait for that. Argentina-Mexico at 7 o'clock as well. We've got a real good double header on Saturday night. Argentina-Mexico and France-Denmark. But of course, we're living in the now, and this is USA against Wales. So yeah, tomorrow, first day of the 4 games. So 4 games at different times tomorrow. Which goes on for 8 days. We get 8 days of 4 games at different times. On the Thursday, the 1st, we do get 4 games, but they kick off at 2. There's 2 games kicking off at the same time. So we've got 8 days now of 4 games a day from tomorrow. And of course, Portugal and Brazil don't play until Thursday. Hi Mark, will you be adding the fan parks this year? Says Leroy Cooper. We looked at doing that, but we couldn't really get the one that we used before. I did like the little fan park things, but we couldn't get the one we used before, which was a shame. HPN says that Wales are looking to hit on the counter. I tell you what, I think England, Wales, you can't really predict it because it's there's a lot of passion involved in that. But if there was no passion involved, we'd be quite comfortable. If the US beat England, is the sport officially called soccer? No, the Riddler. You've helped me a lot mentally. Thank you, says Uzar. Thank you very much, pal. Thanks for your super chat. Portugal-Uruguay will be the best game. Says, let me think about that. Well, let me think about that. And it depends when they play. Because it's the second game for them, so that will be good. You don't want the good game to be the third game, basically. Like Croatia-Belgium is the third game. Just having a look at what else is the third game. Actually, there's not that many third games that are the games that you would want. England-Wales is third game, isn't it? Yeah, to be fair, most of the third games aren't the big ones, so that's good. That is good. Let's have a look at what's happening with the stats carousel. And as you can see, 70% possession for USA. Who's doing the Ivory Coast watch along on Friday, says Chris Jackson. And Mark, do some commentary in an American accent, says Barber. I can't even do an American accent. Raz says, we don't want Gakpo to be too good in the World Cup. Don't want competition for players. I'll be talking about Gakpo at 9 o'clock on the United Stand, mate. But I like him. I think he proved a lot of people wrong who think they know what they're on about today, which we'll talk about at 9 on the United Stand. Also, an update on Mason Greenwood. And we'll talk about a few other bits as well. So, United Stand at 9 o'clock tonight. We can get into that. France against Australia will be a banger, says Hungry Huns. And do you think Chelsea will sack Potter, says Dan? No. No, I don't. But I think this is a good start. Very good start by the USA. I played the game. I can't really do an American accent. I can't. How many times the World Cup do you think we'll lose to Arsenal, United's under 23s or under 21s, says Shawshik. Big chance there for America, United States, USA. How many names do they want? Nearly a goal there as well. They've started off really well. Sargent of Norwich. He got the header in. I think he might have been offside. Mark, Gakpo in January and De Jong or Bellingham in the summer would be really good for United, says Govind. So Weah put the cross in. It was the keeper who headed it. Well, the Welsh defender headed it against the keeper. And then cross came in and Sargent hit the post. George Washington would be so proud, says the Impossible Dream. Thank you very much for the super chats coming in. Sargent can't finish. Plays for Norwich. Always scores against me on FIFA. I've just had some brilliant news. I've just had some brilliant news in relation to our watch-alongs tomorrow. Many of you have asked for it, and we've got it. We've got Ricky on a watch-along tomorrow. A World Cup watch-along with Ricky tomorrow. Do you want to know which game he's doing? I'll let you know. But Ricky is going to be on a watch-along in the studio tomorrow. Ricky and Adam. There we go. I've almost got goosebumps myself. So you'll be able to see that tomorrow. Mark quit talking about the United. We want to watch the World Cup, says Daniel. I don't think I have. Yellow card for Dest here. Don't know whether it should have been. How well do you think Canada will do this World Cup, says Gary. I'm looking forward to seeing Canada. Some people are saying, who's Ricky? Yeah, because you might not watch the United Stand. Sorry about that. You'll see tomorrow. I don't think that was a yellow card. I think it's way too early to be given a yellow card like that. Have you noticed how many minutes the referees are adding on as well? Scooby-Doo! I can't tell you, I had an early stretch. I gotta get... The only thing Scottish about this World Cup are my pyjamas. Scooby-Doo! There you go. Scotland's represented. That's for you, Gran. Super Gran. Yeah, have you noticed how these referees keep adding on, like, massive amounts of time? Even the Senegal game, they had like 8 minutes added on. They're adding way too long on. Currently still in Abu Dhabi after attending the Grand Prix, says Liam. Feeling a bit homesick, so get some home comfort with Goldbridge. Met Vettel, so all good. And what a race to meet Vettel, Liam, as well. I'm sad the Formula One's over, but in a way I'm quite glad. I just hope next year's more competitive. Ferrari should have done better, and Mercedes, when it's a bit like a pre-season all season for Mercedes, so I'm hoping next year. This ref is crap. He's absolutely rubbish. This ref is absolutely rubbish. I think he gets the ball and he gets a yellow card. Weston McKennie's been booked. I'd be worried about this referee. If you're English, which team would you root for? I imagine there's love lost between England and Wales. I don't dislike Wales, and if Wales were in the World Cup and England weren't, I wouldn't mind them doing well. But they are in the World Cup, England, and they are in our group. And to be honest with you, there's quite a bit of rivalry with Welsh people I know. Jordan, who is on the show tomorrow as well. So I'd like United States to do well. I would. Best way to describe Ricky is the bloke from the viral video saying Smalling is better than Maguire, says Joshua Bowwater. Well, he's on tomorrow. I just need to check which game. Put the dress back on, says Chubby. A few people have just been asking me there, quite rightly, what nationality is this referee? I say quite rightly. He is... I don't know what nationality he is. Al Jassim is his name, so he could be... Well, I don't want to predict. Let's have a look. He's a Qatari referee. Okay. Be afraid. Not because he's from Qatar, just because he won't be used to refereeing Champions League and high-level football. So it's a bit of a running joke that when you get the referees from the smaller footballing nations, you can get a few different decisions. Let's wait and see. Dylan says he's a crap ref. I don't know who the English representative is. If it's Anthony Taylor, he's probably better than him, to be fair. Inexperienced, Jimmy, that's the word. An inexperienced ref tends to be incapable of letting the game go. Like if you think about a Kalina or a top-level referee, the reason they're top-level and the reason fans like referees who let things go. Who let the game go and can manage it in a way they want to. An inexperienced referee can't do that. So they become a bad referee because everything is a yellow card. Everything is a foul or a free kick. But I've got to say, it doesn't matter whether you're from Australia, Qatar, I'm trying to think of small footballing nations now. Anthony Taylor's crap. How would it be if Verstappen, Leclerc and Russell fight for the championship next season? Says Steve. I still want Hamilton to do it as well. Are you doing the Canadian game on Wednesday? I'd have to look at my calendar. Let me have a look. people will be going, why don't you use a doc? Why don't you use a Google Calendar or something? Because I'm old. I'm old school. And I like a pen and paper. So Canada play on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to watching it. I'm just trying to see who they're playing. The fact that it's not in my calendar probably means I'm not doing it, but I might have put somebody first. It's not definite yet. Canada Belgium at 7 o'clock on Wednesday. Oh, I've got a completely different game. I've got France. I am doing it, yeah. I put France down twice. France are playing twice on my list. No, I am doing it on Friday, on Wednesday, yeah. Belgium, Canada at 7 o'clock. I am doing it, yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to that one as well. Then I get to watch Canada and USA. Is Michael Oliver, so as the British ref, says Chelsea? I don't know. Am I doing the Mexico game? I think that's what Ricky's doing, Mexico-Poland. I'll be watching it. I'll definitely be watching it if Ricky's doing the watch-along, but I don't think I'm doing Mexico tomorrow. I'm doing Argentina tomorrow and France tomorrow. Portugal, Ghana. Yeah. Ricky in a sombrero. That would probably be classed as racist now, wouldn't it? Didn't they do that on the Bake Off? That's F1 channel with F1 watch along, says Marcus. I'd love to do it. I do love the F1. We could do it in the studio, couldn't we? Maybe look at that next year. I feel that United States has started off the best game. Do you use a feather and ink to write as well, says Chuck? You're a cheeky Chuck. Chuck off. You cheeky Chuck. No, the Great British Bake Off, they wore a couple of sombreros and big moustaches, and there was complaints about it being racist. I think it's... I've said this before, how I could do an American accent now and it'd be absolutely fine, but if I did an Indian accent, people would say it was racist. You've just got to be very careful of offending countries and nations. And the rules are grey. I don't understand that. I've said that before. How can I do an American accent and it's fine, but if I do, and I can do a Scottish accent and it's fine, but if I do an Indian accent or a Chinese accent, it's racist. I think even Italian is sort of becoming a little bit like whether you can do that or not. But I don't understand the rules, and I think when you don't understand the rules, just avoid doing it. Do an Indian accent and it'll make you famous. Yeah, I know exactly what would happen, so I won't do it. And if people are offended by it, I won't do it anyway. But I don't understand the rules. If someone can explain that one to us, I don't know why. If England make the final, who out of the top teams would you most like to play, says Max. Mate, I think most England fans would say I'd love Ecuador to get to the final so we can beat them. I would love to play Brazil or Argentina. I would, if England are going to win the World Cup, I want us to beat somebody good. Do you think Korea has a chance to go out of the group, says Dante? I think it's going to be very difficult. It's a tough group, that is, for Korea. Very, very tough. That's the group that's got Portugal and Uruguay and Ghana in it. I think that's a tough group. Would you say that's the toughest group? Just looking through them. Switzerland, Cameroon, Brazil, Serbia. I mean, that's not a bad group, you know. Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, Cameroon. It's not a bad group. Switzerland are okay. Cameroon are okay. Serbia, a lot of people think are quite good. Uruguay, South Korea, Portugal, Ghana. Tough group. Germany, Japan, Spain, Costa Rica. Should be Germany and Spain, but Morocco, Croatia, Belgium, Canada. Should be Belgium and Croatia, but Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, Poland. I think that's going to be between Mexico and Poland. I think tomorrow, it's a bit like USA, Wales here, and that's a game that you can't afford to lose. Denmark, Tunisia, France, Australia. Should be France and Denmark. So I'd certainly say that the groups on Group E and Group H are pretty tough. I think Wales are just feeling their way into the tournament, and USA are definitely playing with a little bit more intensity. I hope Korea at least can upset a strong team like they did with Germany, even if they don't go out of the group. I miss Park from United, says Dante. Thanks for your super chat there. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, you're very welcome. We are doing every World Cup watch-along. Ricky is on Mexico-Poland tomorrow at 4 o'clock, so get ready for that. Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, I need to look at it. I'll fix it tomorrow. Is it the lamp? Is it the lamp? Yeah, I know. I need to fix it. Hi Mark, hope you and the gang do a Q&A live from the studio with the studio audience asking questions. That would be epic, says Glenn. Be very hard to get a studio audience in that studio, trust me. Ever been to the US, Mark? If not, would you like to? I'd love to go, Jack. I'd love to go. I'd love a goal in this game. I think Wales are playing quite tight. We're doing a watch-along for every game, Elliot. Every game there'll be a watch-along. It'll either be me or in the studio like it once was this afternoon. And the studio one was really good. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, I'm the best, but, you know, I actually don't like watching. You know, I've obviously seen what the competition's like, and I don't really think it's that good. But I really did like our watch-along. I enjoyed it. What do you think about 48 teams in the World Cup, says Shah? Oh, God. It makes me want to throw up. I mean, if you think about Iran, England, and Ecuador, Qatar, and that's with 32, imagine how many bad games we're going to get with 48. And, of course, I think 3 teams qualify. So, at least with 2 teams qualifying from the group, there's a bit of competitive element to the group. Riddler says, I'm impressed with USA. They've got better quality on the ball than Wales. And this USC team needs speed at centre forward, says Basil. Oh, that could be a yellow. No, he's given a foul. Adams. That probably was a yellow card. By Tyler Adams on Ramsey. He doesn't give it, thank God. Would Bale be in the top 10 British players to have played the game, says Hasha? I mean, you could probably fill the top 10 quite quickly with very, very good British players. If you want to go back as far as, you know, Stanley Matthew days and stuff like that. But, you know, you've got to put respect on Gareth Bale's name. He's a good player, but I don't know whether he'd make the top 10. Here's Weah down the right-hand side. I do quite like this Weah player. I think Weah's the sort of player that might cause England a few problems because he's just a lot of pace. I'd play him through the middle, I would. Worst team in the World Cup so far, Qatar. I do think Iran would beat Qatar. Is it George Weah's son? I don't think it is. Came over from United Stand to rep my country. Let's go USA, says Jacob. Also, in response to your accent question, you can do accents of similar ethnicity with ease, but it gets complicated when you cross the ethnic lines. Thank you, Jacob. Thanks very much for that. It is his son. Okay, didn't know that. In fact, somebody just said this. Fun fact, Weah's father is the president of Liberia, a country in Africa. Well, I know George Weah. I'm old enough to remember that. I mean, he was a brilliant player. Is football degrading? It was better in the past, says Flea. And seems like both teams had to change their game because of the lousy ref. Made it a bit poor, in my opinion. Love the new studio, says Rui. Yeah, I think this ref is a game. Is somebody you've got to be careful of. All right, I'm going to do a bit of a background check here. Timothy Weah, 22, born in Brooklyn, USA. So that's why he doesn't play for Liberia. He was born in Brooklyn to George Weah when he was a footballer and his Jamaican wife, Claire. Weah was elected the 25th president of Liberia in 2018. Spent his early life in Brooklyn. He's fluent in English and French and enjoys... He's very close friends with Tyler Adams. There you go. Bit of a background there. That's what it's here for. Mark, is it me or is this ref running like the ones on FIFA, running to give you a red card, says Silverbridge. Best Charlton player, Bale, Dalglish, Greaves, says Manchester United. I like Jason Park Mateus, but I don't know why he's getting two mentions in a World Cup watch-along for Wales against United States. I will be doing some watch-alongs in the studio, yes, Lee. We've got a plan. 27 minutes. I think Wales have been the better... Not Wales. I think United States have been the better team, and I think Wales are just looking to counter. Hi, Mark. What are the fixtures you're looking for the most, says Jack? Well, I was looking forward to this. I think it needs a goal. I'm looking forward to... Let's have a look. I mean, obviously, I'm looking forward to Argentina tomorrow. I'm looking forward to have a look at them. I think they'll beat Saudi Arabia quite well, but I'm still looking forward to it. I do think Mexico-Poland will be a good game. I always like Mexico, but apparently I've been told to expect the worst. Dest shoots over the bar from distance. France-Australia tomorrow will be interesting. See how good France are. I think Germany-Japan on Wednesday at 1 o'clock will be interesting. See how good Germany are, because Japan are okay. Belgium-Canada, I'm looking forward to that. Spain-Costa Rica, I find Spain quite difficult to watch, I've got to be honest. There's something about Spain I just find a bit dull. I don't know why. And then obviously Portugal, Ghana and Uruguay, South Korea, because I think that's a really interesting group on Thursday. And Brazil, Serbia, which could be... I think there's a lot of focus on Brazil, quite rightly. But that's a tough opener for them. Do you think this is a must-win for Wales, or do you think they could cause an upset over England? Says Annius. I think if there wasn't the rivalry there, what I've seen from Wales so far, England would beat them quite comfortably. But because of the rivalry, it makes it a derby, so anything could happen. But I've not been particularly impressed with Wales so far. Will says, people are ridiculously underrating Serbia. Yeah, you're probably right. Would you take Dest at United? Ten Hag wanted him, says Robble. Well, if Ten Hag wanted him. He's at AC Milan now, though, isn't he? Lovely little play here by United States, though. They are moving the ball around nicely. They're not... you know what? Maybe the hype with USA is true. They're not a bad side. They've got some decent players. And they do... Certainly, I thought this game might be a bit equal. And at the moment, I think United States look the better side. US are playing Ten Hag ball. Wales playing Ollie ball. Sit back and hit them on the break, Kalaki, says Jacob. Thanks for the super chat there. I think one team's trying to play football and the other's trying to counter. So I think that's a fair representation, what was said there. Please do subscribe to the channel. We're only 400 away from 818,000. Thank you very much for doing that. Remember, we're doing every watch along and everybody's welcome on That's Football. It's a channel for everyone. I don't think Serbia will beat Brazil, but I think they're capable of getting a point. I mean, to be honest, I think the fairer way of saying it is that if Brazil beat Serbia, they are the real deal, because I don't think Serbia are, a comfortable win. I think Brazil will have to play well, but a lot of people say expect them to. Lots of love to you, Mark. Love the channel, says Matthias. Thank you very much. Mark, what do you think Wales need to do to win? And that was from Joel. Well, the United States are on the attack here. I quite like the link up down the right-hand side with Dest. They definitely go down the right-hand side a lot more than they go down the left. But they like to get the full-backs forward. I don't see what the criticism is of this USA coach. I mean, you do play quite good. I'm not saying that in a condescending way. I've been told about the United States for a while, and I've been quite impressed with them so far. Ref's getting a lot of stick in the chats. Wales, they're playing a back five. They're playing very compact. They're looking to counter. They're not engaging their press until USA are about 10 metres into their half. So, yeah, it's... This ref is poor. Do the winners play Ivory Coast and miss my country Norway in the World Cup, says Matthias. Sports fan said that the winners play Ivory Coast. It would have been nice to see Haaland in the tournament, but you know what? It would have been nice to see Salah in the tournament. It would have been nice to see Benzema. He's injured. It would have been nice to see Italy in the tournament, but ultimately, everybody has the chance to qualify, and there's always teams that don't. That should have been a yellow for Wales, considering he's given 2 yellow cards out to American players for less or similar. But I think Wales are just setting up to hit on the break with the pace that they've got. Needs to go to bed. Night, Seb. Love you. Definitely need a goal. Definitely needs a goal. Everyone's saying night, Seb. Yeah, definitely needs a goal this game. And to be honest, it doesn't just need a goal. It needs a USA goal, because if Wales score, they'll just keep doing what they're doing. I'm a Spurs fan, but I believe that George Best could have been the GOAT better than Ronaldo, says Nigel. Can't wait to see Denmark tomorrow. I'm Danish myself, and I hope we get a good World Cup. By the way, love the studio, says Lars. Oh, mate, you'll see a couple tomorrow. As I say, Ricky's going to be on as well. But Charlie and Adam did our first World Cup watch along from the studio today. Oh, it's just brilliant. So polished, visually and interactively as well. It was brilliant. I loved it. Really enjoyed it. And, I'd watch that over bloody Sky any day of the week. Looked good. Weyer! And he scores! And that's a great goal! Well done, USA. We've got the goal we wanted. Get in there. And he's the man. He looks very good. He looks very good. Very, very good indeed. Well done. Exactly what this game needed. I'm not anti-Welsh. I'm just saying the game needed a goal. And USA have been the team that's been attacking more. This should get Wales to open up a little bit. They need to open up and tell us their problems because they've been very, very defensive. People are looking at offside, but no, he's well onside. Lovely ball by Pulisic. Lovely finish by Weah. They're an exciting team. I like the look of the USA. I do like the look of them. I do like the look of them. He finished that really, really well. I like the look of this Weah. And lovely. I tell you what, I'm not going to start shouting USA, USA, USA and calling it soccer, but I like them. Energetic, move the ball quickly. Goal of the tournament, potentially. Probably not better than Rashford's or Saka's, to be fair, but lovely goal. Well done. Well done. And they have been the better side. Wales look very, very off. And hopefully Wales will attack a bit now. They've not attacked at all. But they might do now. No, it's gone for a goal kick. Lovely goal. Well taken. And they deserve it. I mean, look at the stats there. They've been much the better side. 66% possession. 3 shots to 1. They have been the better side. It is George Weah's son. He plays for Lille. And USA lead 1-0. And Wales have been very flat. It's called Goldbridge ball, says Logan. I tell you what, that USA away kit's nice as well. Not that that's got anything to do with it, but USA will be a force for the 2026 World Cup, says Sports Fan. George Weah's son is American. We were talking about it before, Oliver. He was born in Brooklyn, New York. Brought up in America. To a Liberian father in George Weah and a Jamaican mother in Claire, I think her name is. Pulisic's class, gets into great positions, says Chris. I'm surprised it's not worked out for Pulisic at Chelsea, actually, you know. I mean, very, very exciting player. Tim Weah looked like his dad, George Weah, on that one, says David. You know what? When you realise it's George Weah's son, if you watch George Weah play, like many of us did of a certain age, you can see the similarities. I think George was a bit more athletic in his build, but you can see the similarities in the way they run, etc. But look, it's a good goal for the game. Wales were playing very defensive, and it's a good goal for the game. I'm glad Wales are losing, because Scotland aren't in it. That's my pyjamas talking, not me. My Scottish tartan pyjamas. Thomas says, are USA, Canada and Mexico all guaranteed to play in the 2026 World Cup? Good question, don't know. And I agree with Will. I like how the USA are pressing. I can't believe people said that their coach is bad. I think you've played some good stuff. That's got to be a yellow card, Gareth Bale. It's got to be a yellow card. Yeah. Now all these USA fans are going to be annoying, says Vims. Well, he gets the ball. It's not a foul. It's not a foul, gets the ball. Still room on the American bus, Mark. Promise you can sit next to Ted Lasso and defect, says Jacob. I played the game. So Gareth Bale's been booked. Got the man first. I was looking at the ball. Maybe he did. I'll take that. As it was a foul then. Could be a red card in this game though. The ref is booking a lot of people. 5 minutes to go to half time. Farts says, we've never played like this in previous matches. Okay. If you get 2 yellow cards, you miss the next game, Curling, in tournament football, yeah. Bale's a passenger. Well, he plays in the MLS, doesn't he, Bale? I mean, Bale has been finished for a while. Call Speed and ask how he's feeling about USA, says AO. Rest must be getting paid overtime, says Paul. Well, let's see how many minutes he adds on. The trouble is, when you're playing in a game and you know the referee's a bit card happy, you start taking a tumble more and more. I think USA-England will be a good game, but we'll probably both have qualified by then. That's the problem. Oh, no, we play USA next, don't we? Oh, that's going to be a cracker on Friday night. I think if USA play like this against England, it'll be a great game. They're very energetic and tenacious athletically, and that's what you need to do against England, because that's what the Premier League is, isn't it? So I think it'll be a very interesting game. Some nice little flicks as well. I think it's going to be a good game on Friday night. Get the beer in the fridge, Mrs. Goldbridge. That rhymes. Vincent's going to be in Benidorm for the match. Why are you going to be in Benidorm in late November, mate? You got it all wrong. Iran-Wales will be a good game as well, Danny. Oh no, he's put sleep emojis there. Well, it will be a good game because Wales will need to win it, but they're both very negative. Can you do a poll for greatest World Cup side ever, says Sports Fan? Who are the candidates? Bale has all the potential in the world, says Oscar. I think France 98 are probably the best team of my life. Mark, do you have any pets? Says Liam. Yeah, cat and a dog. I don't think we can judge teams that we've never seen, because Brazil 70 was apparently very, 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 very special. I don't think Brazil 02 was that good. England should have bloody beat them. 2 minutes to half time. Yeah, there is a Not United stand show at 9 o'clock. Some good stuff to talk about. Some news today around Mason Greenwood. We're talking about the England players, Gakpo, a new contract for a player. So quite a lot to discuss at 9 o'clock on the United stand. Because obviously we won't be getting it. Oh, that's the thing about knockout stage, isn't it? All the extra time we'll get. There'll be extra time and penalties. Need to get some sleep over the next couple of weeks. Can't go into knockout tournament tired. Mark, who are your favourites? Mine are Argentina or Brazil. Eric, mine were France and Brazil, but I think Benzema is like Brazil losing Neymar or Argentina losing Messi. Yeah, but probably the best team I've seen play in this World Cup so far. I don't think we can. I don't think we can really bring England into the equation until they play somebody decent. But I think USA have played well. I do think Senegal Netherlands was a good game. A lot of people said that was boring because it was 0-0, but I actually thought that was a really. I think Senegal Netherlands is the best 50-50 game we've had, and it wasn't 50-50 because Netherlands won, but it's the best game of football we've had that's been either or. England Iran was very one-sided. Ecuador and Qatar was very one-sided, and this has been very one-sided. 4 minutes again. 4 fucking minutes. What are they doing? They need to have a word with these refs. They're adding way too long on. 4 minutes at the end of the first half is a joke. What are they doing? I'm not having this. I'm not putting up with this. Football fans don't want 4 minutes and 10 minutes added on at the end of a game. Otherwise, there's just no excitement of getting to the 45th minute. No, I'm not having this bullshit. This is obviously a protocol from FIFA and it's a stupid one. We've not even had any stoppages, really, have we? That's worrying. That is worrying that they're adding 4 minutes on for a half like that. Yeah, I think it is on purpose, top bins. I think it's very clear that FIFA are telling them to add too many minutes on. Not too many minutes, but they're getting them to add loads of minutes. Nobody wants 4 minutes added on at the end of the first half. It's FIFA again, isn't it? Fucking idiots. I don't need the toilet. I don't need the toilet. I just don't need. I don't actually want to watch 50-minute halves. I don't think football's that. 45 minutes is plenty. You don't need 50 minutes of football. Like, let's have a break. They haven't played the game, says Shane. And also, it's not good for players, is it? I mean, they're already overplayed, and now you're overplaying them more. Another yellow card for Wales, Mepham. As you can see, there's quite a few yellow cards. We've got 2 yellow cards for USA down that right-hand side. Dest and McKennie. And then Wales have got Bale and Mepham. So we've had 4 yellow cards. As I said, I'm not convinced that this referee is going to... Have we had 4 yellow cards or 5? Someone says it's been 5. I'm not saying it's not a yellow card. I'm just saying we've had a lot of yellow cards. I need a stretch. I like Wales's midfield. I like the USA midfield. Someone just said they like McKennie. I like Muzza and Adams as well. I think it's. I'm a big advocate of games being won in the midfield, and I think Slow Sports news to Shannon. I think games are won in the midfield, and I think the best midfields are are the athletic midfielders who can put a tackle in, carry the ball, and pass forward and are quick. And I like this. I like this first half from USA. Maybe Wales are just crap. Maybe they're not playing very well. But it's I like what I see so far. FIFA's motto: "I've ruined the game," says Rui. Imagine the World Cup final having 8 minutes added in the end on a 1-0 score, says Hash. I think we've got to get used to it. Tom says, Iran are a decent team, Mark. They'd only lost 2 of their last 21 games before we beat them. No doubt England have been the most impressive so far. Tom, I think you're talking out of your arse. I would respect your opinion more if we had seen an Iranian side that actually looked decent, but they gave England 83% possession at times, and their passing success rate was around 50. That's got nothing to do with England being the better side. That's to do with, if your pass success rate is around 50%, you're crap. They played crap today. They did play crap. I'm interested to see what Iran do against Wales on Friday, because I don't believe they could play that crap again. Half time here, and it's 1-0 to the USA. They've been absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed it. And we'll probably finish this game about midnight if this referee is like every other referee and wants to add 4 minutes on for no subs. I mean, imagine what he's going to do when the subs come on. We're going to get about 8 minutes added on. Jude to United, here we go. 140 million, no problem, says AK7. Let's have a quick look at the stats in this first half, because that's what I want to do. So let's take and pause and have a look. So, look, USA have had 67% possession against the Welsh. They've had 3 shots to 2, 1 shot on target. They've had nearly double the amount of passes. Their passing accuracy is 90% and Wales is 76%. I think that's really impressive. I think it's very impressive. For a country that isn't really renowned for being, a good footballing side. I mean, they've been around for a long time. They hosted it in '94. Nobody's saying that the USA are bad, but I don't think they've ever been respected in that way. Wales are a team that got to the semi-finals of the Euros a few years ago. They're an honest, well-oiled machine, Wales, and they've been outplayed by the United States. So you can see why people have been talking about the USA and saying, don't sleep on the USA. They've got some good players. This is probably the best USA side I've seen. I'm very, very impressed with the way that they play football. I think anybody who watches football can appreciate good football. I think their intensity, their press, I suppose, but more importantly, their energy into the tackle. When they get the ball, they look into play vertical passes a lot, forward passes, pass and move football, runs off the ball. I've been very, very impressed with them. And look, who knows what they can do? I mean, if they get out the group, they're probably playing the Netherlands, because I think England will top the group, and I think that means that second place will play the Netherlands, who top their group. But they're a good side, and I'm actually... I mean, look, England might play them and beat them 4-0, but I tell you what, if England beat this side, USA, 4-0, I will sit up and say they're a good team, because England beating Iran, it's always stuck in your head that Iran were very, 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 very poor. If England beat USA on Friday, well, I would sit there and go, you know what, we might be onto something here, because they're good. They're good. They know what they're doing. They're not a team that's sitting deep. They fancy their chances. They can create chances, and they've been much the better team. Mark, have you seen Neymar's comment on Ten Hag? He was asked about Ronaldo versus Ten Hag. Ten what? What's that? I don't know. What's the Ten Hag? Is that a Pokemon? Says Davuda. Well, I've not heard that, so I don't know whether that's true. And if it was true, it would reflect badly on Neymar, who should know a little bit about the European football scene. In 4 Qatari League matches this year, this ref has given 20 cards, so he's averaging 5 a game. Thank you very much for that from Parker. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right hand corner. Where's the Southgate top, Mark? Says Caleb. And shocking so far from us. No options in the midfield, says Leon Jones. Yeah, I mean, Wales... I don't massively care who wins between Wales and United States. In fact, from England's point of view, you'd probably want a draw just to make it a bit safer for us to finish top. So a draw is the best result as an England fan, but in relation to watching the game and wanting to watch a good game, best thing to happen was for Wales to concede, because you could see from very early on that Wales are playing counter-attacking football. I mean, somebody made a very, very good point. And it'd be more relevant to United fans, but I think anybody would understand it. Ten Hag's ideal style of football is closer to the way the United States have played, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's style of football is closer to the way that Wales have played. Basically, high energy, high press, move the ball forward, United States, against low line, counter-attack with pace, Wales. And I've got to be honest, the most enjoyable style of football is the United States. So them scoring first is good for the viewer, because Wales have got to come out a little bit now. If Wales had scored first on the counter, they'd just defend even more. Antonio says, Pulisic has been the difference maker, definitely, but America has been better than expected. Yeah, I've been very impressed with them. Again, I think we need to be a little bit careful that we don't overhype it, because, you know, maybe Wales are just dreadful, and maybe it's easy for USA. But I think the game has been won and lost in the midfield so far. Very impressed with the aggressiveness and speed and agility on the ball and off the ball from McKennie, Musa and Adams. They've been really, really good. And then, you know, I suppose the thing that would worry me about the United States is if you were to pick up an injury to one of those midfielders, or Pulisic or Weah, what's your depth? If England pick up an injury to Harry Maguire, you've got Dyer. If England pick up an injury to Rice, you've got Henderson and Phillips. If you pick up an injury to Mount, you've got Foden, Maddison. Has United States got that depth? Because that's the big thing. The battle Friday will be how well England's midfield does against Musa, McKennie and Adams. Yeah, HPN, I agree. Will you bring United Stand career mode back? Yes, Matthew, after the World Cup. We've worked on our MLS academies and pipelines to Europe a lot, as well as tracking down Europeans with American eligibility. Soccer is booming right now, says Gog. Well, there is an improvement. And I haven't had the answer to the question, but what's the qualification for the World Cup in 4 years' time then? Do Canada, USA and Mexico get to qualify, or do you have to all qualify individually? What if USA wins a World Cup before England, says Isma? Well, if the USA take football seriously, then they probably could win a World Cup before England, because look at the size of the USA. So it could happen. A lot of excited Americans in the chat. I'm not bothered about that. Well done. Well done. You know, I can only give you credit, and I think you should bask in that credit. I wouldn't get carried away with that credit, but you should bask in that credit. You're getting a lot of credit from, you know, people who know the game. I've played the game, I've watched the game, and I'm very impressed with the USA so far. I'm very impressed with their shape, their approach to the game, their tenacity, their agility, their speed of movement, looking for the forward pass, looking for the movement off the ball, the give and goes. My kind of football. That's my kind of football, boys. That's about as best of an American you can get. Yes, all three of us automatically qualify, says Sean. Okay, well, yeah, of course you're going to qualify. There's 48 teams, isn't there? It's not 32, so yeah. I'm just surprised we scored and that we're moving the ball well. Well, apparently, that's from Mr. Blee, but apparently USA don't normally play like this. So, I don't know. But it's good. And hello, what's going on? Sorry about that. Selfish daughter in the background. Disrespecting the USA versus Wales watch-along stream. Well, you won't be having a burger. That's American. Or any, what's Welsh? Cheese on toast. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. We're only 100 subscribers away from 818,000. Remember, we're live for every World Cup watch-along, and there's 4 games tomorrow. We'll be kicking off at 10 o'clock for Messi and Argentina. 10 o'clock on a Tuesday morning, watching a game of football in the World Cup with Messi. Oh yeah, sign me up for that. We'll be there for that. Also, don't forget, our match stats carousel is sponsored by OneFootball. Fantastic football app. Download it for free. Links in the description, or you can scan the QR code. Get all your latest football news and stats on the OneFootball app for free. Big shout out to them. Soccer, the love of my life. Oh, I'm fed up with all this soccer talk. The issue with the United States is that most of their pro athletes choose to enter into traditional American sports rather than football. Well, Ollie, I can't argue with Americans choosing NFL or NHL or NBA, considering that is, you know, or baseball, because there's a lot of money in it and there's a lot of history in it. But American is more of a world game, isn't it? So give it a chance. Give it a chance. Not going to lie, Mark. Shocked we're playing like this, considering our form before the World Cup, says Eric. And Glazers will probably try to buy USA team. Don't know any better Glazers out, says Brian. I played the game. Hey up. What's going on here then? I just wanted to have a quick look at the NFL results from the weekend, because I haven't watched any of it. It's Monday, isn't it? It's Monday today. I haven't seen the games from the weekend. Cowboys, 43. 49ers are playing tomorrow. I played the game. What's the date? Oh, yeah. I'm going for the Bills. They've won again. Browns. Buffalo Bills for the Super Bowl. Don't forget I do a Super Bowl watch along. Packers are fucked, aren't they? The Packers are fucked. Aaron Rodgers, you're not going to be playing in the playoffs. They lose every week. What's gone wrong with the Packers? I don't think the Bucs are playing this week, are they? It's their week off. Rams lost again as well. Cowboys looking good. Chiefs always look good. Hi Mark, was delighted to see the young English players thrive. Saka, Bellingham and Rashi were a breath of fresh air. Let's go Bills, says Vignesh. And even though I was born in Brooklyn, New York, I relate more to Senegal because today my parents are from there. I want Ronaldo to win it all, says Abdulia. And another issue is that we don't have youth academies like Europe does. A few of our players go overseas, but most go to college, then MLS in the 20s, says Zach. Philadelphia Eagles will win the Super Bowl, says Max. And also Mark, when you come into New York, says Leo, just get a big massive brand to say, come over to America, we'll give you first class and a bit of money, and I'll do it. If I've got to do it off my own arse, I always put it off. So I don't know. Just get... Oh, hold on. What's going on here? It's trying to turn itself off. It's been on so long. The telly's trying to turn itself off. We don't want to be turned off. We want to stay on. We want to stay on. We're back. Don't forget, we're sponsored by Wash and Go. I just want everyone to know we're sponsored by Wash and Go. Wash and Go, you can see the blue lid, but you won't be able to see the green bottle because it's against the green screen. Wash and Go is a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. Scan the QR code, get it delivered to your door. Wash and Go, I use it every day. I do use Wash and Go on my hair. Shower every morning, Wash and Go. I wash and I go. Links in the video description as well. But more importantly, I filmed an advert for Wash and Go, behind the scenes and everything. It's a 15-minute thing. Link in the video description. You can give it a watch. It's on my channel, the Mark Goldbridge channel. The whole story from end to finish on how I came up with the idea of a superb sponsorship for Wash and Go of fan parks for this tournament. So check it out, links in the description, and you can get your Wash and Go delivered to your door. Big shout out to Wash and Go. Lovely stuff. Mark, post the complete interview, Ronaldo reaches 500 million and Man United share drops. Do you think the initial negativity against Ronaldo was due to English and Glazers media trying their best to bring down the GOAT, says Davuda? Mark is turning into a closet USA fan, says the Riddler. No, if you've watched me before, I just appreciate good football, and I think the way the USA have played has surprised me a little bit. And a lot of people said watch out for them, and I've watched out, and they've been pretty good. Sounds like you follow American football then more than I do. I'm not a fan of most American sports, as EJ. I've always liked American football. USA did not play well in the games leading up to the World Cup. That's why, as Americans, are surprised by this performance. It's an exciting time for the future. Kiefer Moore is coming on for Wales. He's a bit like a Welsh Peter Crouch. He plays for Bournemouth. Can you do a commercial for Manscaped, says EG? Good idea. Get them on it. Mark, I work at a grocery store and I hate working midday because of all the old people making me bring groceries to their cars and being arseholes, says Ronan. I feel that was events more than anything, Ronan. So basically, Ronan hates working at midday and helping out old people. There's a place for you in heaven, Ronan. I'd like Portugal to win the World Cup just to see a total meltdown in United's board, says Ahmed. Hey, I've already said it. I've played the game. I've already said this. My dream final, if it's not to be England, would be Argentina-Portugal. Ronaldo versus Messi in a final. Imagine that. Their final World Cup, they go head-to-head. It's not going to happen, but I would like it to happen. And we're off for the second half. So, can Wales come back into this game? They've made a substitution. They've gone for Kiefer Moore, which means they'll probably hit a few more long balls. But I'd fancy United States to make it 2-0. Nice ball. And a corner here for the United States. Dan James off. Interesting. Dan James been taken off. Don't think it will be to do with any injury. I think it will be a tactical thing. Corner for USA. Not a very good one. Headed away. Is Weah. He's enjoying himself. Yeah, Dan James might work against England, but that's game 3. Ramsey's finished, says Perry. I think that's the problem with Wales, isn't it? Aaron Ramsey, Gareth Bale, they're definitely past their best. Nice ball into the channel here, though, for Kiefer Moore. A few envelopes handed to the right people and everything is possible, says Ahmed. Well, I was just putting a tweet out there about the time added on. I'm not happy about it. I don't agree with 4 minutes at the end of the first half and 8 at the end of the second half. It's a 90-minute game, isn't it? It's a 90-minute game. Will you be open to national team coaching jobs, Sanshul? If the right job comes up, I'll go for it, yeah. Can I just let a few people know in the chat, when you get blocked, you still chat and you think you're part of it. So just a warning to some of you who are doing certain things, you are getting blocked, but you will keep typing thinking you're part of it. Because I've been on a channel where I've been blocked before and it still lets you type and you still think you're going up, but you're not. I'm an American but been an English supporter since the 90s. Friday I will stand for USA anthem but yell for England. England to at least the final, says Franklin. Lovely stuff. Ultimate Opportunity says you're shadow banned. Yeah. YouTube doesn't tell you that you're blocked, but Fahad, you're not blocked because it says am I blocked? No, you're not. Lewis is blocked with a Y and an S. Everyone who's asking am I blocked, you're not, because I can read it. Andrew Owens just got himself blocked. In fact, I'm not going to shout out the people anymore. I'm just going to do it. Oh, what's this? A penalty? No. Look at the way that USA play the ball, though. It's just lovely the way they pass and move. Here's Muzza. He's had a great game so far. Cross. Oh, I tell you what, I thought that was going to be a cutback for a goal. The speed of which they move the ball and the little intricate passes. Pulisic loses the ball there. Tyler says the USA are quite exciting. And another yellow card here. Ream's been booked. If USA can have a good World Cup run and maybe get to the quarterfinals, it can accelerate the popularity and desire to really compete in world football, especially if they keep up this attractive style of play, says LJ. England will be smashing USA Friday night, says Nathan. Just want to say hello, says the Jedi. Hello. I do think that they will struggle to get to the quarterfinals, quite simply because I think they're going to finish second in the group, which is going to put them up against the Netherlands. Now, the Netherlands weren't fantastic today. They were gettable, but I think round 16 for USA is probably their limit, and I think quarterfinal would be a major achievement. But look, that's assuming England beat them on Friday. If England don't beat them on Friday, then they'll probably still finish second because of goal difference, won't they? What's this Turner like at Arsenal anyway? I've never bloody heard of him. Good run by Robinson here. I know about him from Fulham. Wales have got to open up a little bit more, but I think that will open up the game a bit more, which I'm all here for. It's not Tina Turner. Do you see England winning the World Cup, says UK? No. No, you can't say England are going to win the World Cup because they smashed Iran. He's a good goalkeeper, apparently. Decent backup goalkeeper. Thank you very much for that. Everyone who's told us that. We're only 10 subscribers away from 818,000. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Remember, we're doing every game on the World Cup here. So, and everyone's welcome on That's Football anyway. So make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Wales are on Iran settings, says CJ. Well, as you can see at the group stage at the moment, that's a live group. So it has USA and England top. Stats still 63% possession for USA. It's not been very good from Wales so far. But Wales looking very underwhelming, says Wonderbread. Ish says that the US have got the best fan base in soccer. You have. In soccer? Because they're the only ones who bloody call it soccer. So you must have the best fans. USA, also Group A reminds me of the 40s for some reason. Germany, Italy, Japan and Russia, says Butterman. Wales are getting old, says Emma. If you could have any USA player at United, who would you pick? That's a good question, Jack. What we saying? Well, it doesn't have to be United. We've probably got Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, Chelsea fans. I think it's the same. Who would you take? I don't think they've got a forward that I'd go that solves our problem. So I'd be looking at probably Dest at right back. But to be honest with you, I think I'd take one of their midfielders. I like their midfielders. I like the way that they get on the ball. I like their tenacity. I like their energy. So I'd probably take one of their midfield three. I quite like their midfield. Yeah. Very tidy on the ball as well. Although every time I say that, Pulisic gives the ball away. The USA look pretty good. I'm pleasantly surprised by their performance, says Connor, because I initially assumed Wales were going to dominate. Crowd looks good, says Connor. There's a lot of empty seats, though. But then again, Wales are not a very big nation, are they? What's the popularity of Wales? Population? 4 million? 6 million? And I don't think many United States fans would travel for a World Cup, would they? Expensive to go there as well. I'm a Milan fan, says Ronan, and Dest is dreadful. I think there's more sheep in Wales, isn't there? Or is that New Zealand? Either New Zealand or Wales, there's more sheep than people. It's New Zealand for sheep, apparently. 3 million population in Wales. Oh, they've got a corner here, Wales. Might be their best sort of chance to score. Enough talk about the US. Their northern neighbours are better and 1/10 of the population. Well, we'll get to watch Canada, Kevin, on Wednesday night against Belgium. That'll be a good game. If they can get anything out of that, they really will be decent. Apparently, the US has bought the most tickets, says Vignesh. There you go. Third highest, says Abe. Who's the highest? Right, you've got to tell us that. So Abe says 91,000 tickets have been bought from US fans. They're third. Who's second and first then? And where do you get that information from? I might be able to find it for you. Here we go. Got it. Got it. The top 10 purchasing countries of the tickets sold are Qatar, United States, Saudi Arabia, England, Mexico, UAE, Argentina, France, Brazil, and Germany. So England are fourth behind Saudi Arabia, USA, and Qatar. Mexico have bought a lot. UAE, Argentina, France, Brazil, and Germany. There you go. Never think of it like that, do you? I'll tell you what though, half an hour to go. Wales have changed their tactics a little bit. They could get back into the game. I mean, look, USA have played well for an hour. It's a different thing to be able to play well for 90 minutes. You know, maybe they'll run out a bit of steam here. Maybe Wales's intensity will start to show. Good cross into the box. Kiefer Moore lays it off. Is Giggs completely gone? Didn't keep up with all that. His court case has been he had his court case and they couldn't come to a decision, so it's been relisted for next summer. So he retired. He resigned. Mark, what's the first World Cup you watched? 90 was the first one I watched a lot of, DJ. I very, very vaguely remember the 86 World Cup. I love the USA supporters' chants the drums add to the atmosphere, says Connor. Wales are playing a bit better now, Randy. There's hope. I mean, from an England point of view, a draw is a good result. And I think USA have dropped off a little bit. Maybe they're thinking of dropping off a bit. Maybe they're thinking a bit defensively now. You know, maybe that's part of the plan. Half an hour to go. Should Potter take the England job if offered, says Taylor. Well, he's not going to, is he? He wouldn't leave Chelsea for England. Ducat says USA second youngest roster at the World Cup. That does bode well. I mean, look, you know what? Be interesting to see if they make some subs, because they've got a lot of players who are MLS players as well. You know, the thing about this USA side is you might look at it and go, oh, I quite like him. They could make a move, but a lot of them are playing for like Leeds, Valencia, Chelsea, Fulham. I'd like to see some of the MLS players, because they're the sort of players that you go, oh, maybe they get a European move. I wouldn't take Gerrard at England, no. I think Gerrard got found out because he lost that guy to QPR, didn't he? I think Gerrard was a lot about his coaching staff, and when he lost that, was it Beale to QPR? It seemed to go wrong. Loads of Welsh fans behind the USA goal, just blending in with the seats a bit. Also forgot how frustrating Meat was. Glad he's off now, says Joshua Bowater. I presume you're Welsh, Joshua. Oh, lovely bit of play here. Weah's hit that way too early. Or has he? No, he has hit it too early. Lovely play down the right-hand side, but Weah should have ran with that a bit. Just looking if it's a penalty on Pulisic, but it was actually a good tackle. Kenneth, thanks for the super chat. Not a penalty there. I'm not going to say this, but I am going to say it. How many of you have watched every game so far? It's still very early. I'd imagine most of us have watched every game so far. There is this thing where people try and challenge themselves to watch every game. You know what? My daughter got back from school today. They did not let them watch the England game. They weren't allowed to watch the England game at school. And I said, that's really disappointing, because when I was growing up, I think there wasn't a World Cup where I couldn't watch it. 94, I was at school. Those games were all at night. 1990, I think the first one started when you got home from school at 4. 98, I was at college, France. So there was a couple of afternoon games, but we got to see them. But this year, there's loads of games that you're going to miss if you're at school, isn't there? My first World Cup was 94 with Romario and Bebeto. I remember them well. Andre. Leonardo. I really liked Leonardo, the left back. Who was the right back? They were Brazil, that 94 team, their fullbacks just got forward, and I can't remember what their right back was called. Was it? Who was the right back in 94? It wasn't Cafu. Don't think it was Cafu. Was it Cafu? I don't think it was Cafu. That doesn't ring a bell. Jorginho rings a bell. Cross into the box. Tipped over the bar. Chance there. Yeah, Jorginho was the right back. I wonder if they split their games or something. It was Jorginho, yeah. It wasn't Cafu. I'd have remembered Cafu. Cafu was there, but it was Jorginho. Maybe they changed halfway through the tournament. Oh, again, a big chance for Wales. They've had a couple of chances there. Kiefer Moore from the corner. Flicked over the bar. I don't think it was a great save from the first chance, but I think Kiefer Moore should have scored there. Big let off for USA. And that's something that England will look at, because there's not a lot of height in this USA side. That wasn't a great save. It was straight at him. Mike says his son was allowed to watch the England women's Euros, but was not allowed to watch the men this afternoon. Oh, that's sexist. McKennie's coming off. Already had a strap on his leg anyway. And Aronson, the Leeds player's coming on. Good player he is. There's a ball on for Weah there. He should have seen it. Pulisic should have seen that. Surprised he didn't. Sargent's got it. Why didn't Rayner start, says Harrison? Don't know. Don't forget, OneFootball sponsor our stats carousel. You can download it through the link in the video description or scan the QR code. Get your latest football news and stats on the OneFootball app for free. Oh, here we go. Wales are on the attack. Kiefer Moore. I mean, Wales, I wouldn't say Wales deserve a point, but they are coming back into it. He's robbed Bale there. No, he should have seen him coming back at him there. Serbia are coached by Stojkovic. Remember his 2 goals against Spain in Italia 90. Pure class. Didn't do it often enough, though, says Kenneth. Yerp says USA are terrible at aerial set pieces. Yeah, I think that might be their weakness. And who are good at aerial set pieces? England. So that could be an area that we can exploit. Nico Williams is hurt. He's back there. Wales definitely better this half. Just hope they can get a goal, says Joel Morris. And David Taylor says, hi Mark, do you reckon USA 94 for England was down to poor coaching, or was it simply a bad crop of players compared to 96 and 98, says David. There was a transition between 90, when we got to the semi-final of the World Cup, and 96 Euros. That was a very big 6 years, because if you look back from 90, you've got people like Des Walker, Peter Shilton, Terry Butcher, David Platt, Paul Gascoigne, John Barnes, Gary Lineker, Peter Beardsley. And then if you look in 96, Platt was coming towards the end. Gazza was coming towards the end. Stuart Pearce was still there, and that was basically it. So it was a big transition from Italia 90 to 96. But I also think it came down to coaching. The coaching was terrible. Laurie McMenemy and Graham Taylor just weren't that level of coach. And some of the people that got called up, I mean, with all due respect, Carlton Palmer, Jeff Thomas, Andy Sinton. It was just players that got called up who just weren't good enough. Thoughts on the human rights violations, says Brentas. I think that we don't talk about it really, mate, because we're here to talk about football. Obviously, 3 substitutions being made by USA here. Everybody's aware about it, but I think we've sort of made the decision that we're just going to talk about the football. I mean, I'm happy to talk about, I don't agree with the World Cup being taken place in Qatar because of the impact it's going to have on the domestic season, but there's a lot. We could talk all night about it. I think at the end of the day, the success of this tournament will be judged afterwards, won't it? And I think at the end of the day, when us as football fans are having these opinions, what power do we have? You know, you've got England players, Dutch players, Welsh players who were apparently going to wear an armband and then decided they didn't want to wear it because they didn't want a yellow card. And you think about, I just find that ridiculous. Like if you're going to make such a big commotion about wearing an armband, about discrimination, and then you decide you're not going to wear it because you don't want a yellow card. Well, it obviously wasn't that important to you in the first place, was it? So I don't really want to talk about any of that sort of stuff because we don't really have much of a say in it, do we, as fans? And really, we may as well just watch the football. I think this game's starting to open up quite nicely now. Wales at 1-0. You're only 1 goal away, aren't you? 20 minutes to go. There's another injury here. Pulisic. Oh, no. They don't want to lose Pulisic. He's very injury prone anyway. Didn't look like there was much in it. Mad respect on the fundraiser, Mark. I watched almost all of it. Near tears towards the end. Where can I buy that dress? Says Rob. Boohoo man, use the code Goldbridge. Not having an impact doesn't mean we shouldn't say anything. This is exactly what Qatar want, though, says Frentas. Yeah, but we're just a little community. Like, I think we all have our opinions on this, but realistically, you've got people who have their opinion on it but have flown over there to earn money. Like, I'm sorry, we're not going to have any impact on this. We can all have our opinion on it, but the reason we're focusing on the football is because it's happening and nothing's going to change. And as many people said in the chat, these conversations should have took place before. It's not football fans that are going to make any difference to this. There was a lot of there was a lot of people who could have made a difference and haven't. So I think we just got to focus on the football, in my opinion. FIFA have said goal celebrations waste up 3 minutes and they are now adding the minutes used for VAR reviews to stoppage. All in seems a bit excessive, says Mr. Nobody. I knew all this added time was coming from FIFA. How many minutes do we want to guess that we're going to get added? I think we'll get at least 6. At least 6. Too much time being added on. Way too much time. Cool. I know there are more substitutions now. Not saying anything moving forward, says Cal. Eight probably is the fair play. Is Muzza on the attack? Can United States finish this off? Pulisic with the cross. Oh, they both... Wow, Aronson went for it. Weah was waiting for it. Neither got it. Tyler Adams has been world class, says Ken. Pulisic is moving better now. Although there's another player gone down. Oh no, why are so many people going down injured? Might be cramp. Muzza. Well, they're going to make some subs here, USA. They've got 3 ready to come on. Sargent's coming off. Acosta, Wright and Yedlin. We'll find out a bit about them. Acosta, Wright and Yedlin. So Wright plays for Antalyaspor in Turkey and is a forward. Acosta is a midfielder from LA, presume Galaxy. And Yedlin is probably a defender, yeah, from Miami. So the striker is from playing in Turkey, and Acosta and Yedlin play in the MLS. Fresh legs. I love the watch-alongs, Mark. Games are at 12 a.m, 3 a.m, and 6 a.m. in Australia, so it's hard to watch with mates. So the watch-alongs make it more enjoyable, says Bisfer. Oh, well, fair play for you to watch it. Fair play for you to be watching it in the early hours. Love it. I've missed the game so far. How have they played, says Jack. USA really good for about 50 minutes, and then Wales have come back into it a little bit. But USA have been the better. They've had the better intention across the whole game. Wales have started to play more attacking because they've had to, but their initial intent was quite defensive. Yedlin played for Newcastle, apparently. Fans stop Super League. We do have the power, says Harry O'Kane. We're not going to stop the World Cup now, mate. Should have taken Pulisic off, says Ash. Yeah, you can't afford to lose him. And the thing I'd say about Pulisic, and I think any Chelsea fan would say it as well, he gets injured quite a lot. So if there's any chance of taking off, you'd want to do that. But what you've also got to consider as well is they're not winning 2-0. They're winning 1-0 with 15 minutes to go. And as I said before, if you win this game, you've got a massive chance of going through the group, because I don't think Wales will beat England. And even if they beat Iran, it's only 3. So it's a massive, massive 15 minutes here. Like the West don't want the Arab community to implement these in their countries. Why should the West try to change culture? Their hypocrisy. Okay, we're not doing this, Fire. Sorry. It's a football channel and we're watching a game of football. So from now on, I don't see where we're going with these conversations. We don't have these conversations on the Champions League or anything like that. So I'm not getting involved in it anymore. We've had 2 or 3 days of this. Let's keep it football related, please. Corner to the USA. You're not banned, Paul. I'd like to see Rayner come on. I don't know why he doesn't get picked, really. back post header. Still 15 minutes to go. I'm on the United stand at 9 o'clock. Straight after this, straight over to the United stand. We're going to be talking Cody Gakpo. A new update today on a new deal for a United player, and also there's been some news on the Mason Greenwood scenario. So we'll be talking about that on the 9 o'clock show. United stand has moved now. 10 o'clock show has moved to 9 o'clock in the morning, and 8 o'clock show at night has moved to 9 o'clock at night because of the World Cup for the next few days. So I think it's actually the next week and a half. Wales on the attack. They could still get back into this. Cuts it back. I would have hit that. Keeps it going though. Rotates the ball. Little dinky cross. Well out. Why 9 a.m, Tommy? Because there's a match at 10 a.m. I mean, you really need to use your bread. You need to use your brain, Tommy. Tommy, you need to use your brain, Tommy. There's a fucking match at 10 o'clock, Tommy. Argentina and Messi. You can't do it. You can't do United stand, Tommy, at 10 o'clock, can he? Use your bread, Tommy. Use your loaf. That is actually a good saying. Your loaf means Ed. No, it's not being moved forever. It's just for... I think it's only 8 days and then we get rid of the 10 o'clock games. I think a week on Wednesday is the last 10 o'clock game. I think, actually, it might be Tuesday. Let me have a look. So we've got 10 o'clock game tomorrow through till Monday, Tuesday. No. It's only a week. The last 10 o'clock game is a week today. It's only a week of 10 o'clock games. Next Tuesday, they're down to 3 o'clock. So, yeah, it's only five times where it will move to 9 o'clock, and then we'll go back to 10 o'clock again. Tommy, it's only for 5 days, Tommy. Don't worry about it. Just pop yourself on a plane to Benidorm, Tommy. Don't worry about it. It'll mess with your head, Tommy. Wales should bring Bale on, says B. Yakov. Good one. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a late Wales goal here. I think 1-0 is a dangerous score. You can understand the USA starting to sit in a bit now. This could be it. Ooh, he's giving it! Oh, he's giving it. I don't think so. I think this ref is shit, but I don't think it's a pen. I'll have to see it. I'll have to see this. Oh, it is. I think it is. I think he gets the player first. I think it is a penalty. All that work from the USA. All that work. They'll be kicking themselves. Clear. I think it is a pen. It didn't look like it on the first one, but on the second one, it's like the Bale yellow card. He comes through the back of him, doesn't he? Zimmerman on Bale. I tell you what, I said it a minute ago, didn't I? It's a good result for England to draw, by the way. But you've got to get the second goal. 1-0. Fair play to Wales for getting back into it. You've got to get the second goal. I think the United States have been the better side, but Wales have stood in it. Sup, Mark? These lives always make my day better after college lectures. Looking forward to see the Mexico game on tomorrow with you as well. 4 o'clock, Flicks, yeah. I think it was a penalty, but... on the balance of play, I think the United States have got every right to be a bit frustrated. Although second half, they've not really been as good. I think they've tired out a little bit, haven't they? They might win this. Victor says, I see Bale's been taking lessons from Neymar. He won't miss this. Good penalty. 1-1. Big goal for Wales. Imagine if Wales go and win this now. I tell you what, if I was United States, I'd be panicking a little bit now. You've made a lot of subs. Wales, he thinks he's a bloody rock star, Bale. He's still celebrating. You've made a lot of subs. Maybe a bit of experience for Wales in the last 10 minutes. Pump a few balls in the box. Kiefer Moore. They might nick it. It's a good result for England, a draw, yeah. Yeah, it is. Oh, it's a Stonewall penalty. Yeah, it is a Stonewall penalty. They've just shown a much better angle. If I'm honest, I'd question why he's making a tackle like that in the box. Really, really silly tackle to be making in the box. Stay on your feet. Well, I hope it ends in a draw, because I think it would be very harsh on the United States if they were to lose it. But it's a 90-minute game. In fact, it's probably going to be a 98-minute game, if we're honest. With 8 minutes to go, we've probably still got 16 to go, really. Back to reality, USA, says Ben Smith. Probably like 10 minutes extra as well because of the stupid new rule. I hate this new rule. I hate the new rule. It's silly. Really silly. Apparently Wales have been excellent second half in one of the group chats I've been in. I don't actually think Wales have been excellent second half. I think they've been better second half, and I think United States have tired second half. But I wouldn't describe it as excellent. The new rule is add loads of time on at the end of the game. We had 4 minutes. 4 minutes added on at the end of the first half. There was there 10 minutes added on at the end of England game, and we didn't really have anything apart from Harry Maguire's thing where he went off quite quickly. There's loads and loads of added time being added on again. USA do look tired, Randy. They put a lot of effort into that first half. I said that after an hour, didn't I? I said the thing is, it's all well and good to play high intensity football, but can you do it for 90 minutes? And I certainly think England will be a lot happier with the United States second half. I think first half they'd have gone, bloody hell, they're pretty decent. But second half, they have looked tired. Their decision making has not been as on point. And if I was picking a winner at the moment, I think maybe Wales have got the momentum. They're burnt out, says Brim. Switch, switch, switch. Lovely ball out to the right-hand side for Dest. He's got loads of room. It's not Dest. Cross comes in. Easy header away for Wales. I don't think you're going to get much joy putting crosses into the box against Wales. Sam says, how far do you think England are going to go? I think I'm 100% sure we'll go to the quarterfinals, and then from there, anything is possible. We've got a very good squad. Giannos makes a good point. He says the US are exciting but young and experienced and they need 4 more years. Well, they're a very young side, actually. It will do them good. How much is Saka worth now, says Thomas. The fact that he's not for sale, people don't really talk about it, do they? I think if Man City came in, they'd want at least 100 million. Marketing James says Maguire played well, but it's clear why Eric Ten Hag don't pick him. I think it's been an interesting game. I don't think it's been a great game. I still think we're waiting for that World Cup game where we go, wow. Sometimes the group stage is very good. I think at the moment we're only on day 2, so I'm not too fussed about it. But, we need a game that's just got... remember Portugal-Spain? Was that in the Euros or the World Cup when it was 3-3 a few years ago? But, as I said, if the US had won this, it pretty much makes Wales go home. In my opinion, and if same for if Wales win it, so a draw probably for these two teams is not a bad result. All things considered, at this point of the game, you don't want to lose it. A lovely little ball in here. Is it Brennan Johnson? I can't see. Shoot straight at the keeper. Yeah. Good turn. I tell you what, it is stretching. Oh, it's got to be a yellow. Ref. That was clinical, cynical. It's end to end a bit now, says David Lloyd. This referee's rubbish. That's a blatant yellow. He chops him down on the halfway line and says play on and gives a foul. That's a yellow. Argentina-France 2018, best game I've seen, says Harry O'Kane. Thank you very much. I played the game. That's a yellow. I mean, it's such a yellow. He's injured himself doing the foul. I can't stand refs like that. I'll give a yellow card that now can't be asked. It's like that. It's like that referee today. It's a penalty on Harry Maguire. No, it's not. But then it is a penalty for something less at the end of the game. I can't stand the inconsistency of a referee changing their own bloody standards during a game. I don't like the inconsistency between one game and another because I think officiating should be consistent. But I cannot stand referees who change their decision making in game. Ref's going to add 8 minutes, I guarantee. Here we go. Get ready for this. I'm already on Twitter. 8 minutes added on. Guarantee. 9 minutes! Oh, for God's sake, this has got to stop. This has got to stop. This has got to stop, FIFA. This is a joke. It's a farce. It's a farce now. It's a farce now. It's a joke. You can't be adding that much onto a game. 9 minutes. What are they? They're turning this... I tell you what, a lot of people had a lot of problems with this World Cup. They're actually going to make this World Cup crap by doing this. 9 minutes. Oh, you can't do that. It makes the 90th minute irrelevant. If we all know there's going to be at least another 10 minutes, it makes 90 minutes pointless. Doesn't it? It makes 90 minutes pointless. Unbelievable. Imagine you're the underdog, right? And you're winning 1-0. You hold out for half an hour. You get to the 90th minute and you think, we're nearly there. And the referee holds up 9 minutes and you go, we're not there. And why have we had 9 minutes added? What's happened? Subs. There's not been an incident. 9 minutes for what? Exactly. I tell you what, I'm getting really pissed off with this. This is not football. This is not right. You should not be adding that much time onto a game of football. 6 minutes if there's been a lot of stoppages, max. 9 minutes when there's not been many stoppages. What the hell? What the hell? A reminder that we're the final few games of Gareth Bale's career. He's battled injuries recent few years and hoping his body doesn't fail him in the World Cup, says Hay. Well, this is one of the frustrations, right? This is one of the frustrations. You are adding... These players have been playing 3 games a week for the first 3 months of the season to get this World Cup in. When they finish the World Cup, they're going to be playing 3 games a week. And in the World Cup, they're asking them to play another 15 minutes. We're averaging 5 minutes added on in the first half and 9 in the second half. He's added 9 minutes. That's 1/5 of the first half been added on. This sometimes happens. They have protocols in a major tournament, and their protocol for this tournament is adding time on. Some of us want to watch I'm a Select. Well, some of us want to watch United stand at 9 o'clock. Go and retweet my tweet. It's a joke. Not absolute joke. A few people on Twitter are saying I like it. It stops time wasting. I don't like it. I think it's dangerous. I think it's very dangerous for the athletes, and I think it's very hard for the consumer as well, because I think you're taking away the excitement of the final few minutes of the game. It's not, what will happen is people won't get excited in the 85th minute. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm only 5 minutes away." You're not 5 minutes away. You're about 20 minutes away. And look at, the funny thing is, he's added 9 minutes on, and in stoppage time, we've had loads more stoppages. People are going down with cramp. We've got more subs. So actually, most of stoppage time has been time wasting. So what's he going to do? Add another 5 minutes onto stoppage time? Yeah. Anyway, I think a draw is a good result for England. The thing is, it's not even like the quality of this 9 minutes is any good, is it? They're knackered. There's people going down with cramp. Passing has disappeared. The crossing is gone. They're just knackered. They're dead on their feet. I'm all for time being added on if it's a great game, but these players are dead on their feet. It's stupid. It's people in suits making decisions that they've absolutely got no idea about. They've gone, let's stop time wasting by adding more time on at the end. It'll make for a better spectacle. Not if it's not a very good game, it won't. Why are they doing this? FIFA. It's their new protocol for the World Cup. Let's basically play extra time at the end of the 90 minutes. 9 minutes and we've not even had any long stoppages. Madness. Imagine if we get an injury in a game. I just don't get it. Absolutely shocking. But they won't listen to fans. It'll need somebody better than us to do something about it. I mean, imagine in the knockout stage when a game goes to extra time. You'll play 50 minutes in the first half because they're all adding about 5 minutes on. You'll play 55 minutes in the second half because they're all adding 10 minutes on. So you'll play 105 minutes and then you'll go to extra time where they'll play half an hour but probably add another 5 on there. So you could play a 140-minute game before you go to penalties. Madness. Absolute madness. Anyway, Wales are on the attack here. Will we get a goal for the 9 minutes? I don't think we will. I think the quality's gone. I think they're all knackered. Wasn't there a rumour a while back about them wanting to turn games into 120 minutes as read? The players can't do it though, mate. They can't. I know a few players and they're like, the intensity of football now, it just goes up and up all the time. The demands, the fitness levels, you just can't do it. Like Ernie says, what are you going to do in extra time? It's all right people saying, oh, I like it, but you're not an elite professional footballer, are you? The footballers don't like it. They hate it. They're already knackered and you're asking them to go another 10 minutes. It's not fair. It's not right. But, the consumer will win and then you'll start moaning when we get more and more injuries and more big players missing big games. It's all about this. It's all about this. Imagine what's to come, though, Goldbridge. I think we all know what's to come. I've already predicted this, DJ. January, February, March, April, you're going to see a lot of players missing a lot of games. They shouldn't be implementing it in a World Cup either. And also, what about the players like Gareth Bale or Cristiano Ronaldo? The players that are, they're still playing, but they're coming towards the end of the career. And Dylan says the players are used to playing 90 minutes, not 110. Well, these players have played 100 minutes, 150 minutes. No, they haven't. They played 100 minutes. No, they played 105 minutes because they had 5 minutes at the end of the first half. So they played 105 minutes instead of normally you'd play about 1 minute on the end of the first half, 3 or 4. You'd expect to play about 95, wouldn't you? Well, he's done his 9 and he's adding extra time on top. So we've had 9 minutes and he's adding more time. I can't believe it. I cannot believe how long they've added here. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? I've got to go over to the United stand now. It's interesting, though, isn't it? Because the game finishes 1-1. That's a very good result for England. And the second day of the World Cup comes to a close. And for all the talk about politics and a Winter World Cup and the damage it could have on players in the domestic league, I think the one enduring thing we've picked up on this second day of the World Cup is that there is ridiculous amounts of time being added on. Now, maybe 9 minutes at the end of the game isn't a bad idea, but you can't add 5 minutes at the end of the first half as well. I mean, that was the one that blew me. The fact that he's added on 5 minutes at the end of the first half and then not 10 minutes at the end of the second half. That's 15 minutes of added time in one game. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. USA against England on Friday. My initial thoughts are, I think we'll be all right. I thought they were good for 45 minutes, but in the second half they fell away badly. I think you can get at them in the end, and you can get at them in the second half with fitness, and we will have better fitness, and you can get at them in the air. So I think England will be okay. Right, I'll see you on United Stand. I'm going over to United Stand now. I'll see you in a minute. I'll push you over there, and you can join me over there. Speak to you in a bit.